Hi, my name is Julia Evans, and today I will be talking about the professional disposition of learners and how these dispositions have affected me and what I can learn from them and how I can take these dispositions into my future classroom. The dispositions that I possess that I think will make me a successful teacher is professional conduct, honesty, compassion, and dedication. Possessing these four dispositions is really important to me because it's important that I have a strong relationship with my students and also the parents of my students. The dispositions that I need to work on before entering the classroom as a first-year teacher is reflection and advocacy. I didn't realize how important these two things were until I looked at the dispositions and realized that these are two things that I really need to pay more attention to and work on. An example of how I plan to uphold these dispositions is by reviewing them and taking notes on what I can do better as a future teacher. I like to use sticky notes and I like to see everything handwritten because it really helps me to stay organized. I will take notes on how I should be reflecting on my instructional actions and decisions to support my students. I will also work on advocacy by making sure I take time to understand my students' issues and concerns. I believe by doing that, it will show my students that I really care and that they know that they can come to me and talk to me. An important advocacy that stands out to me that I need to work on is guiding students through the problem-solving process. I didn't really understand what that meant at first until I went back and I read it and realized that that's something that's really important and that I need to work on. How the dispositions demonstrate my ability to understand other cultures and genders and learning differences is by thoroughly explaining each one of these topics. The disposition really gets in depth about having respect for the diversity of learners, which I completely agree with. As it's stated, it says educators should be sensitive to individual learning and the social needs of students and embrace the cultural diversity of the community. They should develop and maintain educational communities marked by respect for others. The disposition really gets into detail on how educators need to strive to create a culture of mutual respect, which is extremely important. I think it's very important that as a future educator and educators now that they are making sure that they're taking into consideration all students' backgrounds and where they come from, because not everyone comes from the same background and everyone's different and everybody learns different. I think that's extremely important that all teachers really pay attention to that and respect that. How I anticipate using feedback from my annual performance, evaluations, observations, and data on student performance is by taking in all the feedback I get and taking all that into consideration and realizing what I really need to work on and focus on to become a better teacher. And I think that'll be very helpful and help me to be successful. I really enjoyed going over these dispositions because I learned a lot and I really learned on what I need to work on, because there were some things that I would think weren't, not that they weren't important, but things I wouldn't really think, oh, I should really pay attention to these and students need this and that. But I think these dispositions were extremely helpful and I'm really glad that I had to go over them, because now I know this is really what I need to work on to help me be a better teacher. Thank you so much for watching.